What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. As promised, guys, in today's video we're gonna have a look at the best champions that we can prepare for the Hydra clan boss, and which, by the way, is getting closer and closer every day. I have a feeling that is gonna happen next week. A lot of you guys tend to think different 2-3 weeks from now, but hey, we're gonna wait and see. In today's video, guys, I wanna give you the head start. I wanna prepare you for the new clan boss. We all wanna get that sweet, precious loot. So we're gonna cover the best buffs, the best debuffs, the best support, everything that we need to conquer the new clan boss. First, before we're gonna talk about the champions that I think that they're gonna have a value surge, we're gonna talk about the Hydra heads. Just like a quick 30 seconds refresh for every single one of them. So Plarium released the patch notes for patch 5.0 yesterday. We covered this in a different video. I'm not gonna go over every single buff and debuff that got released, guys. But if we're moving all the way down to the heads, Head of Torment, Head 1, I'm gonna kind of count them like this. We need Veil and Perfect Veil in order to make sure that fear doesn't slap us. The Head of Torment is a single target on the A1. Lens Fear cannot be blocked or resisted. On the A2, AoE damage increases for every single debuff by 25%. And if attacked by a target that doesn't have a Veil or Perfect Veil, will place fear on the enemies. So it is pretty nasty. We can find some champions to work around against this head. We're not gonna go over all the passive, guys, because honestly, they're literally immune to every single goddamn thing in the game. Literally everything, damage reduction, immune to this, immune to that. So we're gonna have some serious work to do. Moving over to Head of Decay. This one right here doesn't really require anything in particular from our side, okay? So we're gonna fight 4 heads. I'm not sure what's gonna be the first rotation, what's gonna be the second rotation. Affinities, I feel like they won't be playing such an important role since we don't have many similar champions from every single affinity in the game. So because of it, I feel like we're gonna have to just move over from the affinity part and focus on buffs, debuffs, and the rest of the things that eventually will become more important than affinity, you know? So this one right here, on the A1, attacks the enemy with the lowest HP and lands a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns, okay? I'm not gonna go through the decapitation effects because basically those are all benefits towards our team, so that's not something that we gotta care about it as much because that's gonna benefit us. We don't have to worry about benefits, basically, you know? On the A2, though, this is the cleanser, okay? So this head is gonna cleanse all the rest of the heads and they're gonna boost the thermometer. That's gonna be pretty nasty. No matter what you're gonna put on the heads, this one comes in and cleanses them. So that's gonna be pretty nasty. Then the A3 as well cleanses the head with the lowest HP and puts a life barrier, which cannot be removed or stolen. When the enemies are healed, the head decreases their max HP by 15% of the value of the heal. That's part of the passive. Now, that as well can be pretty nasty because the more heals you're gonna get, the more he's gonna decrease the max HP on every single one of your champions. And you do wanna have heals on all these bosses. Either if you have a leech on them, you have continuous heals, you have heals from masteries. No matter from where you're getting the heal, this is gonna be a bit of a problem, okay? And unfortunately, there is no way to deal with it. You're just gonna have to suck it up and just move over with the team, you know? Moving over to the next head, guys, which is the Head of Blight. This one, it is a pretty nasty one, okay? I'm not a big fan of it, to say like this. So we're gonna need a bunch of cleansers in here. We're gonna need to have block, debuffs, buffs. We're gonna need to have block, buffs, and HP burn is a must when we're fighting this head. So on the A1, we have AoE and lands 3 poisons and leech on all the enemies. If he poisons us with 3 poisons, that's gonna be nasty, man. And the leech as well, they're gonna get to heal from us. Then on the second skill is AoE as well, and if you are under a leech debuff, he's gonna detonate all the poisons instant. That literally can kill champions. If you have like three poisons, you can get so much damage. So definitely you want to have cleansers in here. You want to remove the leech constantly. You want to make sure that leech from the A1 does not stick to your team, okay? Or at least you don't have it when he has his A2 available. With the A3, buffs a poison cloud on all heads can be removed or transferred. I'm not sure what they meant with that transfer. They actually made a question mark for me here to bring it up. Why would I want to transfer it? Like, they cannot transfer their own buff to me. You know, like, it doesn't really make sense whatever they said that, because the Hydra buffs, of course, he's not going to transfer his buff to my team. Like, it literally makes no sense. But poison clouds, guys, they make no damage from poison effects, okay? Every attack dealt against them is a weak hit regarding the affinity. But the way to counter it, HP burn. You have HP burn, poison clouds are going into the bin, okay? So that's why HP burn is a must. Cleans, having block buffs as well can make sure that the heads, they're not gonna buff a lot. Now, moving over to the next head, Head of Suffering. This one right here kind of tells us, well, you gotta bring in Strengthen if you don't want to have an AoE weaken from their A1 on your entire team. You could survive with it, you could cleanse it. That's why having Strengthen is not the most important thing that you could have. It's not like something that's gonna mess up your skill rotation. It's not something that's gonna make you skip a turn or anything like that. So because of its Strengthen, I don't consider it to be as important as Veil, for example. You know what I mean? Or Immunity or Cleansers. But it's not bad to have it. You do have a pretty good damage reduction from it. On the A2, ally protection buff on all the heads, reflect damage on himself, and provokes your best damage dealer. Now here we can kind of be sneaky, okay? Remember, you guys are hearing all these things here first on the channel, okay? And if you enjoyed the content, smash that subscribe button. We can build the support champions with crit damage as well. So it's gonna provoke the champion with the highest crit damage. I can build a Doom Priest with tons of crit damage. As soon as she gets her turn, that provoke disappears, you know? And I can do whatever I want afterwards. To Johanna Rack. A lot of champions like that. Or if you have a different cleanser that cleanses the provoke, a lot of things can go into play. I can't wait to actually put all the things that I have in my head into the game and just try different things, because so many things are going through my head, guys. Like, honestly, I don't have enough time to make a video to put all that in, because probably we'll be here for 3-4 hours just talking about different crazy stupid ideas that they might be going through my head right now. So we have that provoke on the champion with the highest crit damage from our team, and then on the A3 attacks one enemy and places a pain link on that enemy. Pain link is kind of like a bit of the opposite of ally protection. Our champion takes damage. So that's all up here in the list if you want to check all the buffs and the debuffs that are coming to the game. Plus, increases the resistance of all the champions, all the heads, sorry, and has more damage reductions from AoE attacks, 30%. The rest of them, they have 10, 10, 10. I'm not sure if this is going to be multiplicative or additive, because it's going to be a huge damage reduction from AoE attacks, man. Like, damn. The only reason why you might want to have AoE attacks is to have attack down, have a leech, have Warcaster procs all around and stuff like that. If no, it's literally no point to have AoE attacks, you know? Moving over to the next head, guys, and that's the Head of Mischief. Pretty interesting one as well. Honestly, I'm so curious about what's going to be the combination of champions in there, you know? So here we kind of want to have resistance on champions, or we want a time when we buff our team with the skill of this head, you know? We want to make sure we don't have a lot of buffs, because this one attacks the enemy with the most buffs and steals the buffs and 50% of the turn meter. Now, it's gonna mess up all your speed tune if it steals the turn meter, so that's why you might want to have resistance on a character. You might want to have resistance on a champion that has the most amount of buffs, and this head is going to target that all the time, and because that target already has resistance, it's not going to be able to steal the buffs, you know, and that's not going to mess up your entire team. That's one idea that can go in play, you know. Then on the A2 we have AoE buff spread, so it's going to spread tons and tons of buffs from this head to the rest of the heads. That can be problematic. That's why you want to have block buffs debuff as well. Very important. We're going to cover a few champions for that as well. They are some pretty solid ones actually, that a lot of people are sleeping on them at the moment. Can redirect the attack onto another head unless the head is under a hex debuff. So why is this important? Why would hex be important here? Because it's such a small impact. Would I prioritize hex over other buffs or debuffs that I already named? Probably not. The reason for it, guys, is the only reason why I would bring hex, and that's something that I gotta try out, is a 75% chance to redirect the attack onto another head. So if this head right here is digesting one of my champions, and I have the timer to deal this amount of damage to free my champion, and he's keep on redirecting the attacks, that can be a problem. So you want to have hex. But if that doesn't happen too often, hex is gonna be useless in this part of the game as well. At least with the current skills on the Hydra heads, you know. So it's not gonna play a very important role. But I'm still gonna name a couple of hex champions just in case if any of you guys might think that you will need them. Moving over to the last head finally. I know I said a quick 30 seconds, but seems like I can't stop talking. We have the head of the rat, guys. AoE decrease attack on the A1. Then on the A2, each hit increases the Vengeance by 1 turn. Vengeance cannot be removed, stolen, or otherwise affected by buff manipulation skills. Now, this Vengeance buff is gonna be crazy. It's gonna get a 300% damage boost, an instant and AoE attack, and he's gonna buff, and he's gonna put reflect damage. He's just gonna do tons and tons of crazy things. That's why, again, we wanna have block buffs to make sure he's never gonna get there, you know? Because if he gets there, that's gonna be a problem. Hopefully, we're gonna be able to block this, you know? And then on the last skill right here, attacks all enemies, places provoke, and places a 50% increased attack buff on this head for 3 turns. Again, block buffs to make sure that doesn't happen. Now, we have a lot of damage reduction from poisons, Giant Slayer, HP burn. HP burn is gonna be one of the most important debuff in here, guys, in terms of damage. Giant Slayer, War Masters are gonna be other important parts that they're gonna bring in tons of damage for our team. Poisons, they will be bringing some damage, but it's not gonna be like, wow. It's still gonna be something extra on the side. As long as we can build a team all around it that's gonna have everything, buffs, debuffs, everything that we need, we're gonna be more than fine. Now that we talked about important things that we need, okay? We want to have Veil. We want to have block buffs. We want to have immunity. We want to have cleansers. We want to have some healers. We want to have defense up, strengthen, some shield. We still want to have kind of like the traditional buffs in order to have a team that survives for a long time. We can even play around with unkillable block damage, but it's not going to be something that's going to be played in the exact same way like on the older clan boss, you know what I mean? Because a lot of things will come into play there. Revivers, AoE healers, single target damage dealers will be very important. So we're gonna jump over and talk about some of the champions that I think they would have a huge potential in here, guys. And of course, I'm not gonna go over through all their skills. I'm quickly gonna try to do my best and don't keep you too long on it because I have a pretty big list. Maybe it was better if I was splitting this in two videos, but we're gonna start first with supportish revivers champions. Of course, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be anyone else better than Duchess Lilith, okay? We have tons of damage reduction, we have the speed lead, we have increased attack, we have the Veil, perfect Veil, revive, heal. Overall, she's gonna be an awesome champion there. But if you don't have a Duchess Lilith, guys, actually we do have other champions that can kind of replace that perfect Veil. We have a few others that are not as reliable, but Rector Threat is the second best champion in there. And not only with that, she's gonna give us tons of heals. She's gonna give us higher resistance as well, which probably we're gonna need it. I have a feeling that I will have to run my team with resistance to achieve the best results, you know. And we have a revive right here, 10 meter, and so much healing, guys. Rector Threat is gonna be such an awesome champion for that as well. So if you have one in your vault, feel free to start preparing her because you're gonna need her. Even if you have a Duchess, we're gonna need to have 18 different champions, okay? And that's with the 3 keys that we have. We might be able to buy more keys, and that's gonna require even more champions. 24 champions, 30 champions. Imagine, just to make sure you're reaching the top damage. Then we have Quark right here, guys. He is from the Lizardman. Not as reliable because this skill right here kind of depends if the ally has higher attack, if it has a higher defense. So all this is gonna play a role in order of what champions they're gonna get buffed. But if you don't have any of them, you might have an Inquisitor Shamil, okay? He has this passive that removes fear or true fear debuff from the team, but he needs to get a turn every time he needs to remove it, okay? So that's one thing to keep in mind. I feel like he's gonna be an awesome champion. He's gonna deal so much damage as a single target. I feel like he's definitely gonna be playing an important role around, just because you need all that damage as well. Now, another champion that I feel like they're gonna be good in terms of having block debuffs, of course, is gonna be Brogni. Such an awesome champion. We have HP burn, we have cleans, we have increased attack, we have block debuffs, we have shield, heals. Brogni is gonna be another powerful champion for these guys. I have a feeling that it's going to be like that. Battle Cazar again is gonna be amazing. I know I'm saying some super strong champions, but the more we're gonna talk about champions and the more we're gonna kind of go down from support to damage to debuffs, etc., you will be finding more champions. Now, in terms of support, not many will be playing such a powerful role there. But Battle Cazar, we have poisons, we have the passive that deals more damage, we have the continuous heals, and we have the A1 AoE, which can proc a lot of Warcaster hits on all the heads at the same time. And we're getting a bit of extra heals from there. Pretty strong champion in terms of stats as well. Johanna Rack, she's going to be awesome as well. She's actually on a 10x scam going on this weekend. But increases speed, increases defense. But she has this passive, removes 1 random debuff from all allies at the start of each turn. And removes 2 random debuffs instead from allies under continuous heal. So we're going to have to play 2 support champions. 2 cleansers, 2 healers, 2 revivers. We're going to have to definitely play 2 cleansers that are doing some magic and healing at the same time, because we're going to be going through so many debuffs. I'm not sure if the heads, they all going to attack bang, 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 one after another. Then I can just cleanse all of them and go in. They're going to attack me again. I can cleanse the second round, and then they're going to go to their A1s, which is not going to be such an impactful play. We're going to have to see how all that plays out. Johanna Rack is going to be another amazing champion. We're going to have Cardel as well. He's going to be huge too, because we have the ally attack with him as well. We have the revive on that. Speed aura. I feel like Cardel is going to be a very powerful champion. I don't own him. Now I kind of want to get him, you know. All the ally attack on the target you want it is going to be pretty powerful. And you have the cleans, the block debuffs. Cardel is definitely going to be a very strong champion for it. Moving over to the next one, guys, is going to be Raiho. She does have a lot of single target stuff happening, but she does have a lot of important debuffs here, you know. And the cleans and the heal on a 3-turn cooldown is going to be huge. Her passive as well, which is not gonna get her messed up. The A1 with the continuous heal as well. I feel like Raiho, she has crazy good potential there as well as a cleanser. Even though you might not have only one of them or something. That's why I'm naming more than just these top 2 guys. Use them because it gives you ideas of what other champions you might be able to use in there. Then we have Skartorsis, for example. I'm not a big fan of him. I feel like he needs a bit of a buff in order to be played, because the cooldowns are too long on him, okay? 5-turn cooldown, and this as well on a 3-turn cooldown is decent, but this one needs to go down on a 4-turn cooldown. And what's going to be good on him is the A1 AoE, the chance to steal random buffs from each enemy. That's one thing that I like of Skartorsis. Moving over, guys, is no one else but Doompriest. I feel like no matter what content we're getting in the game, Doompriest is just climbing more and more and more. Similar with Johanna Rack, we all know what she's doing. The cleanse from the passive, they'll be playing a very important role as well. Mix and match a full cleanser with one of Tomb Priest or to Johanna Rack. I feel like they will have good potential. And then we have the new one, which is Witigs the Crown, or Witigs the Crown, sorry. She is going to be very powerful with the Battle Cazar, for example. AoE Leech on the A1, that's going to be awesome. We have increased defense, continuous heals right here, and instantly activates a continuous heal, so we get some heals in case if any of the champions are low. And here we have on a 3-turn cooldown, removes all debuffs from all allies, then heals them. And the passive places continuous heal on the ally with the lowest HP. She's going to be a very powerful champion for it as well. Moving over to another cleanser that might be pretty good as well. And that one is Sceptic, an epic cleanser. You might have it, you might not have it. But he cleanses, places a block debuffs and a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns. That's going to be on a 4-turn cooldown. The best cleansers will be the one that will have it on a 3-turn cooldown, guys. Just so you know, this is kind of like more budgetish option if you don't have the big dogs that I just named. And then what I like is that he has a chance of stealing 1 random buff from each enemy. Another good thing about him. The next one that we have on the list, cleanser and block debuffs. We have Ugo right here. We have a Leech on the A1, single target. On the A2, we have AoE, defense down, and block buffs. That's going to be pretty powerful. And here we're going to have removes all heal reduction debuffs from all allies. We already know that we need that because one of the heads does it. Then removes 1 random debuff from all allies again. And this is on a 4-turn cooldown. She does have a chance of reviving as well. Counter-attack champions. Now, for the last one here, I keep saying it. Counter-attack is overhyped, guys, okay? If you're asking for a counter-attack champion, ask for Valkyrie. Because she's so unique, she's so amazing for arena as well. And that shield is huge. Now, I feel like Valkyrie, she's going to be bad here. Just because whenever the heads they're gonna buff, the passive is gonna come in play and she's gonna mess up everything, okay? This passive is gonna literally mess up everything in there with the thermometer. It's gonna change the rotation of everything and it's gonna be a big mess. But this shield is gonna be sweet. So I still have my doubts about Valkyrie. I feel like in terms of counter-attack champions, the one and only is gonna be Martyr. We have the defense up counter-attack, but we have decrease attack AoE as well. We have the aura as well. I feel like Martyr might be better than Valkyrie on here. I'm sorry, Valkyrie. I'm really sorry. Now, for the surprise champions, guys, because a couple of them, they're kind of like sleepers right now, okay? So we're gonna start with my first legendary champion ever, okay? I still hate him. I'm still dreaming of him at night. And that is no one else but Norog. Why is he good? We're gonna have attacks all enemies, places block buffs, debuff for 2 turns. And then we have the passive, immune to stun, free sleep is now going to play an important role. But we have the decrease damage taken by all allies, okay? So he's going to be a pretty good damage reduction from here. His base stats are not the best. On the A1 is nothing crazy, nothing that's going to affect the boss. But this skill right here and the passive are amazing. Whenever you're looking for champions, guys, you kind of want to shoot 2 birds with 1 stone, okay? Because like that, you're going to be able to cover 2 things. We have block buffs and we have damage reduction from it as well. The next champion that a lot of you guys probably were like, nah, I don't think that champion is going to be good in clan boss ever. More to Macab. He deals so much damage as well. Single target, HP based. He's going to have such a good survivability rate too. And check this out. Attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit fully booked has a 100% chance of placing a block, buffs, debuff for 2 turns. And that's on a 4-turn cooldown. Not the best cooldown out there. But the main idea is he has the passive, okay? When he activates the peril, this deals so much damage. Hopefully, he's going to deal a lot of damage. We have heal reduction right here. Increases ally speed in all battles by 24. So I feel like more to Macab, again, is going to play a very important role in there as well. Talking about other champions that have block buffs, debuffs, guys, is no one else but Warcaster as well, okay? We have block damage, and we have a 75% chance to land AoE block buffs. He could be pretty good as well, play around with his block damage. Probably not the best option, but is an option if you don't have any other better option to land the debuff. We're gonna have Scantra as well. A lot of RNG with her. She might be playing a good part in there. She just has too many things here, you know. Attacks all enemies 3 times is pretty good. And we have a bunch of debuffs that have a chance to land, you know. And other than that, yeah, probably I would use Scantra. It depends how much the RNG will screw me. And knowing my RNG, I don't think I'll use Scantra in the end, you know. 2 other options that are decent, not the best, but decent, is Phoenix. We have block buffs right here. He deals tons of damage. So much damage, actually, as a single target. He'll be obliterating those heads. And then we have Umbral Enchantress, okay? Void. You're gonna have to go on team presets, switch this skill off, probably put her on a... I don't know, put her on a reflex set and just use the A2 over and over again. Block buffs, block buffs, block buffs for 3 turns as well. She might be one of the most powerful block buffs champion for it. The only thing is that she doesn't bring anything else to the table. And how I said, I want to shoot 2 birds with 1 stone. Because our space is limited. We only have space for 6 champions, you know. Moving over to AoE decrease attack champions. Elton, unfortunately, not good. Tyrell, not good. Jarek, etc., not good. We want to have AoE decrease attack. So the best one for me is going to be Iron Brago, right? We have this one right here, attack down, defense up. We have the passive, tons and tons of damage as a single target as well with the A1. So Iron Brago kind of has a big win here. The next champion is going to be probably Tomblord as well. He brings a lot of stuff to the table. He brings poisons, brings decreased attack, decreased defense. We can get the extra turn, decrease a bit the turn meter. So he's going to be playing a pretty important role as well. I don't own him, but I do have to buy him from that store. I just don't want to pay so much for a champion. I'm just hoping that they're going to wake up and knock down that price a bit. Another champion that's here, guys, because I'm at this faction, I don't want to come back and keep on doing it. Verself. Ally protection, we have defense up, but mainly what we have here is AoE leech, guys, okay? So that's going to be playing another important role, because we don't want to stay fully with lifesteal gear. Maybe we're not going to have a lot of crazy champions to heal our team non-stop, like the top champions that I just named before. And he was a fusion, okay? So he's definitely going to be a pretty good champion for it. Wurlim. Why would Wurlim be good here? Defense up, strengthen, and decrease accuracy. That's gonna lower the amount of resistance we need on our champions. So that Hydra head cannot steal our buffs, okay? That's why Wurlim is gonna be a pretty powerful champion. He deals pretty good damage as well, so I think that he'll be banging in there as well. I'm trying to see where am I with the list, guys. We're gonna have another potentially good champion, Ursaga, okay? So we have ally protection, we have strengthen, damage reduction from her passive, and we have this one right here, okay? Attacks all enemies. We have decreased attack on targets whose attack is higher than their defense, and we have defense down. So no matter what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a lot of damage reduction, and we're gonna have an important debuff. Either decreased attack, either decreased defense. Depends on what sort of stats Plarem is gonna give to the heads, you know. Pretty good aura as well. So she's not gonna be a bad champion either, you know. The next one that could potentially be huge as well, guys, is gonna be another fusion, Sigmund the High Shield, okay? Single target on the A1, we have decreased attack on the A2 AoE, very important. And we have a shield buff and a strengthen buff right here. And the aura is for the Doom Tower. Not that crazy. The passive as well can be pretty interesting for it. But overall, I feel like Sigmund is not going to be a bad champion for the Hydra boss if you don't have any of the champions that can do the job better. Now, we have a new champion that got added to the game as well, Kyoku. She has defense down. HP burn is kind of weird. I'm still not feeling it. Defense up when they get a crit hit, a heal on the team. That's going to be on a 4-turn cooldown. We have ally protection. We get block damage on this champion. She's going to be banging. Weaken on the A1. Tons of hits, so great for Giant Slayer. Super tanky. I don't own her. I wish I'm going to pull her ASAP, guys. because I feel like she's gonna be pretty powerful. Feytma is gonna have AoE decrease attack as well, but she doesn't bring anything else to the table except removes all buffs from the target and places them on this champion. She can do that. Decrease accuracy as well. AoE actually, she does bring something else to the table. My bad. I forgot about her decrease accuracy there. But decrease attack AoE is gonna be huge. Moving over to the next champion, guys, is from this faction as well, is Tyrant Ixlimore. Defense up, ally protection, AoE HP burn, which is gonna be so important. Heal on the A1 single target. We have the passive that has a bit of damage reduction from targets under HP burn. And we have his aura that increases the HP in all battles. He's gonna be a very powerful champion here as well. Moving over to the next one, we have no one else but the Fox. So, Tumesia, I think that's how you say her name. She has a bit of potential in here as well. AoE HP burn, and she can deal tons of damage on a single target. That's why she can be pretty good. Defense down on the A1. I don't have her, I won't be able to test her out, but you guys might be able to let me know if she's gonna be good or no. Venus, again, she's gonna be huge. We have defense down, weaken, we have AoE HP burn, and all the rest of the debuffs, good aura, and we have poisons. She doesn't deal a lot of damage with the A1. That's the only problem with Venus, guys. Moving over to Mordecai, can be decent. The cooldowns are a bit pretty long on him. We have Akat as well, which is from the Doom Tower. I'm not a big fan of him. If this is gonna count the heads, each one of them as an enemy, he can be pretty decent if you don't have another AoE HP burn champion. So he can be playing a pretty good role. If you want to think about champions that have Hex. Okay, so we have Ruel the Handmaster. Places an extra hit on enemies under Hex. He ignores defense, he deals tons of damage, increases accuracy. So you are getting something from this champion, okay? The one that we get from the Doom Tower, Thea the Vault Angel, she removes the Hex after. So it's not going to be good. You want to have this champion, at least he deals tons of damage as well. So he can be useful for the team. This one right here is gonna deal pretty good damage. Now, I'm gonna kind of give you an idea of what other champions to use as damage dealers, and we're done. I have like 4 or 5 more champions on my list, guys. In terms of damage dealers, we're literally gonna have to play around with a lot of champions, try them out, see their multipliers on that boss, what sort of damage they're gonna deal, and how I specified, try to shoot 2 birds with 1 stone. I feel like my favorite here is gonna be no one else but Royal Guard, okay? So, enemy max HP, AoE, 10% of their HP from each single head with this skill every single time. Then, this one right here, decrease speed, attacks 4 times at random. Is gonna be good just for the 4 hits, you know? A1, we have defense down. The next champion that a lot of you guys are hating for some reason, and I keep telling you that he's actually pretty good, is Husk, okay? Again, enemy based on enemy max... Again, damage based on enemy max HP, AoE, every 4 turn, 10% of their HP can be pretty solid, single target, can deal pretty good damage with those skills as well. Then we have no one else but... Where is he? Mashaled, we have AoE leech from him once he lands the buffs, the debuffs. He's just crazy. He brings so much to the team, guys. So Mashaled is going to be a pretty powerful champion. He deals tons of damage too. And another champion that could potentially be good, but I'm not happy with his multipliers. And we got to go back to which faction? I actually forgot his faction. Where is he? Demon Spawn. In it, we Bloodwind. We have AoE leech. But this skill actually doesn't hit too bad. He has pretty good multipliers. The A1 is decent. I feel like this might be a good damage dealer as well. But that was kind of all for this video, guys. Sorry that it took so long. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it and you find it helpful. It can prepare you for the Hydra clan boss, because a bunch of these champions will be very powerful, and we're gonna see a value surge in these specific champions. Keep an eye for the next video, guys, where we're gonna kind of try to replicate teams for the Hydra clan boss, okay? Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Much love. Peace.